literal equations and formulas. So in this lesson, we want to rearrange literal equations and formulas to solve for separate variables. That's kind of the idea. So we know how to solve an equation. Inverse operation, all this stuff is still true, right? When you solve an equation, you're trying to find a solution to a variable. Inverse operation is the way we do that by, if it's multiplication, you want to divide both sides. If it's subtraction, you want to add both sides. But now we want to apply that to literal equations. So literal equations is just an equation with variables and coefficients. So something like E equals mc squared is a literal equation. Or area equals base times height. What we want to do is rearrange this to solve for a separate variable. Instead of having area by itself, how about having the base by itself? Or instead of having E equals mc squared, what if I want, let's see what m equals. So that's what we're going to do. This is an example. So we want to rewrite the literal equation. Janet wants to calculate the time it takes to earn a certain amount of interest on the principal amount in investment with simple interest. How can she rewrite the simple interest formula to solve for time? So the gist here is, right, she has this simple interest formula, I equals PRT, interest equals principal, interest rate times time. So interest, principal is how much you deposit, rate times time. And what she does is she wants to solve for time. She wants to get time by itself. So what we do here is we basically just treat everything else like a number. So the only thing I want here is time. What's going on with time? What are P and R doing to time? Well, the way it's set up, they're multiplying by time. So we're just going to do the opposite. So we want to get rid of P and R, and right now it's being multiplied by time. Let's do the opposite. Let's divide both sides by P and R. And if you do that, and I should do it over here. I equals PRT. I want to get T by itself. That's my goal. I want to get time by itself. I want to get rid of the PR. And right now, PR is being multiplied by time. So to get time by itself, let's do the opposite. Let's divide by PR. So we're going to divide both sides, whatever you want to say, by PR. And basically, don't freak out, right? On this side, they all cancel out. That's my bad PR. I'm going to rewrite that. PR. On this side, you can't do anything. They're all variables. So you just leave it. I over PR equals T. And that's our new equation that we rewrote for time. That's the idea. And then now you could use your answer. My box is a little funky. There's our answer. And now we can use our answer to solve an equation. So Janet invests $5,000 in an investment. Her goal is to make $1,000 interest. It's a simple interest rate of the investment, 5%. How long will it take her to figure her goal? So we're going to do a whole lesson on this later. But 5,000 is her P. The principal is how much she deposits. She's putting 5,000 in. That's her P. She wants to make $1,000 in interest. So that's her I. And her rate is 5%. We have to make that a decimal, so you can move it over 2 spots. So 0.05. Anytime you're doing rate, it has to be a decimal, not percentage. And then all we do is plug all that in. So our interest rate is 1,000 over 5,000 times 0.05. And all that we're going to type into our calculator, and we get 4. It's just take her 4 years to get that interest. So that's the general idea. So let's do another one. In half an hour, Sarah is meeting her friends at the lake, which is 6 miles from her house. At what average speed must she ride her bike to get there on time? So again, here's the formula. Distance equals rate times time. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to get the formula to solve for R. So our formula right here is D equals RT. And we're trying to get R by itself. So what's going on with R? R is being multiplied by T. So this is going to do the opposite. Divide both sides by T. It's like a normal equation. These cancel out. R equals D over T. That's our formula. Now if we want to find the average speed she must ride, just need to plug it in. So she is 6 miles away. That is her common distance. In half an hour. So time is going to be, it's an hour, so we'll say 1/2. So now we have, using the formula, right, the distance, 6 over the time, 1/2. Let's put the units in before I forget. 6 miles over half hour is equal to our rate. Now, to simplify this, you can put this into your calculator, but really, when you divide by half, you just kind of double it. So you get 12 miles per hour is her rate. That's how fast she has to go on her bike. About 12 miles per hour is her. Next one. This to show you we're just going to solve this one, right? So here's the equation. Let's just solve this equation. Ignore the word problem for now. Let's just solve the problem. I want you to rewrite the perimeter of the formula in terms of W. So we have this formula here. It's perimeter formula, 2 length plus 2 width. They always want in terms of W. So let's kind of get W by itself. So what's going on with the W? Just like before, it's like solving a problem. You want to isolate the W. So you want to try to get this W by itself. So we're just going to subtract 2L from both sides, because that's in the way. So minus 2L, minus 2L. Now here, 2L's cancel out. What's going on this left-hand side? You can't combine them, so we're just going to rewrite it. P minus 2L equals 2W. Just like that. Now W is not by itself yet. There's still the 2 by it, right? And this means it's being multiplied, so let's do the opposite. Let's divide everything by 2. So like that. These cancel out. These do not cancel out. Remember, when you have a divide sign, there's an implied parentheses. So if you want to split it, then you could reduce. But if we're going to leave it this, you have to leave it like that. So those cancel out, and just get P minus 2L all over 2 was my width. That's her formula. Right, and now if you want to go back and like answer this question, it's saying, making frame, knows that the perimeter of the frame is 144 inches, so that's our P. And the length is 40 inches, that's our L. So if I was going to solve this, we have a formula, W equals P minus 2L all over 2. And we know what P is, 144. And we know what L is. L is 40. So if we substitute it in, we get 144 minus 2 times 40 all over 2. We get 144 minus 80, which is 64 over 2, which is 32. So that should be the length of our width, 32. Like that. Okay, let's do one more. So according to Tao's bread recipe, he should bake the bread at 190 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. His oven only measures the temperature in Fahrenheit, because it's probably in America. To which temperature does he need to set the oven? So we got to convert, we got this thing in Celsius, we need another Fahrenheit thing. So we got to solve for F. So this one's a little more complicated. So we got to solve for F. So what's going on here? Same concept, I want to get F by itself. Now, normally you go, oh, I got to add or subtract both sides. But first you got to get rid of this multiplication because it's in parentheses. So we got to get rid of this outside stuff first. So the easiest way to get rid of a fraction is multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply both sides by 9 over 5. So multiply by sides by 9 over 5. Right? So the easiest way to get rid of a fraction is multiply by the reciprocal. That way the 9 would cancel out with the 9 in the denominator, and the 5 cancels out with the 5 in the numerator. So we have 9c over 5 equals f minus 32. Again, if you also wanted to, you could take it in 2 steps. You could have multiplied by 9 and then divided by 5. That also works. And when we got to here, I still want to get f by itself, so let's get rid of that 32. We're just going to add 32 to both sides. Now again, on this left side here, these cannot combine. One has a variable, one does not. So you can't do anything. We just have to rewrite it. So the formula is going to be this. 9c over 5 plus 32 equals Fahrenheit. So that is our equation. Now if we wanted to solve this problem, they said Celsius was 190, so we're just going to plug that in for our C. So we have 9 times 190 over 5 plus 32 equals our Fahrenheit. And so to put that into our calculator. Type it to the calculator, gets us 374 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's how much I should bake the bread in. So with that in mind, this is a little recap. Literal equations can use letters for both constants and variables. A formula is kind of a literal equation where one quantity is related to one or more quantities. To solve for a particular variable in a literal equation, you write the equation isolating the desired variable. So treat it like a normal problem, basically. Right? If I want to get a variable by itself, get rid of everything else like we normally do. And then there you go. So for example, the volume of a rectangular prism can be found by using the formula volume equals length times width times height. And what if we want to solve this for h? Well, right now you look at it and you go, okay, what's going on with our h? Right now it's being multiplied by L and W. So how do we solve that? We do the opposite. This operation. Divide by L and W. So, same idea, our equal sign's right there. We're going to divide by L and W. These will cancel on this side, and you have the volume over the length times the width equals our height. And that's the point of this lesson.